Hello everyone, I'm Alberto from Lobos. And in this second masterclass on dog socialization, we're going to use footage from the session we had with LUR. This 2-year-old Czechoslovakian Wolfdog weighs about 110 pounds. What you see on the screen, who came to us from Bilbao a few weeks ago to talk about the challenges of transitioning into adulthood without having had the chance to find the right vibration frequency needed to socialize with adult dogs. Here we see how a dog of this size and these characteristics, with a very low level of excitement and very little physical effort. If we don't have a good relationship or proper leash handling, the tool we use to guide and communicate with our dogs can make us lose our balance and destabilize very easily. This, in cases of higher excitations, well, it can have very significant consequences. And what you're seeing now is something that happens quite often and can easily be mistaken for affection or play. But what's really going on is something that can be observed in play. It's that when I take charge of the dog's direction and grab the leash if the dog isn't balanced yet. It doesn't have a prior reference for the vibration frequency or energy that represents a calm state. What it causes is excitement. This might seem trivial right now, but it gives us insight into what could happen when LUR interacts socially with a balanced dog. Energy inducer like Caden. As we already explained to you a little more in detail in the first episode of our documentary series on dog education, the metrics for assessing a dog state are very simple and easy to understand. The first metric is how well the dog can recognize the state we're inducing in them. And the second is how well the dog can maintain the state we've previously induced in them. And here we let LUR off the leash so that without any physical direction, we can add information to the second assessment metric. Here we're going to slow it down again so you can see that the first thing LUR does is try to release the energy containment he had when he was on my leash, and he rises up over Mar. And here, in this redirection, I'm trying to understand how he reacts to physical contact, and, as you can see, he rises up again. Although, he comes out of the state pretty quickly, on his own. And now, we're starting the masterclass on canine socialization, led by Caden, our master dog or state-inducing dog, and Gala. My definition of a master dog is pretty straightforward. A master dog or a dog skilled in the art of socialization must have the ability to generate, maintain, and willingly induce a calm state. That is to say, regardless of the vibration frequency or energy of the dog they are socializing with. A master dog, they need to have the ability to maintain that calm state at will so that they can then induce it. Now, in slow motion, I want you to pay attention to LUR because making a purely physical reading of a dog can lead us to conclusions. Wrong most of the time, because even if it seems like the dog, because it has sat down and is now going to lie down, has their vibration frequency or energy controlled or seems to be calm. That is very far from reality, this kind of behavior. When a dog spots another dog from a distance and sits down and lies down, it's typical of a puppy that still doesn't have the ability to control its own energy for socialization. Here you can see how the energy or frequency and vibration of the UR. Even though he was sitting, he's now showing behavior that's way too high. We're going to slow down this first interaction between the three of them so you can pay attention to two things at the same time. One will be the legs and the other will be the tails. Regarding the tails, I just want to tell you that the three movements you see here represent different things. But we will make a detailed video to specifically talk about the three valences. Things to keep in mind to read or understand what the tail movements mean. The valences refer to the intensity, speed, and control of the dog's energy at the moment he is doing it. And regarding the legs, I just want to point out that the difference is noticeable without even moving from the spot. LUR makes 8 to 9 leg movements between the front and back legs, while Caden only makes 4. This is a huge difference in state. And this is a really important moment in the session, because here we see how the first time LUR's vibration frequency rises, he has the ability to lower and control it himself. This is a huge difference in state. And this is a really important moment in the session, because here we see how the first time LUR's vibration frequency rises, he has the ability to lower and control it himself. Here we see how he lifts his neck and how he calms himself down. But the excitement that this first encounter with Caden produces at that frequency, well, it has repercussions and starts to create an imbalance in his self-control. And here, we can see the echo and reverberation of that peak intensity we had before. Well, LUR no longer has the ability to control himself and goes straight for Caden's neck. I want you to pay attention to LUR's left front paw. He decides to go for the neck, while the left front paw, there we see it. He hasn't even touched the ground yet, and hasn't had the chance to create a calm state. We'll make a detailed video about the legs and the leg raises, something we already did on Instagram. A few months ago, a 12-minute video was written exclusively about what the pata uprisings meant, but we will do it again here on YouTube. Now we see how Caden and Gala, after this peak of intensity, decide to create space for LUR to have the ability to lower the intensity at which they were socializing. The time and space that both Caden and Gala are creating is something that master dogs need to be able to read in real time to give the dog they're socializing with a chance. With the dog they're socializing with to lower the intensity they're at in that moment. And here we see how those two previous peaks create an effective imbalance. Clearly, LUR doesn't have the ability to maintain a calm state or self-control like he did before. And here, his vibration frequency goes up, and Caden comes in to bring it down. And at this moment, you can see how he is completely out of control. These are already puppy movements. It's an excessively high energy level. And from here, if he doesn't stop and can't regulate himself, and a dog that isn't balanced yet doesn't have that ability, it's going to lead to a drop in energy. There we see it. This is the third time he's lifted his neck above Caden. This is already an adult dog, and Caden needs to lower the intensity at which LUR is socializing. This is the third time he's done it. This is already an adult dog, and Caden needs to lower the intensity at which LUR is socializing. LUR, in a way and with an intensity that matches what LUR needs. And here you can see that my job, once it's the third peak. And now we have it. Of course, LUR can't generate and maintain that calm state on his own. My job, helping him stop LUR's intensity, preparing him to socialize. The only thing that's going to do is help him lower that intensity frequency too. That vibration frequency, the energy, to a point where he'll be ready to socialize with the other dogs at the shelter. LUR isn't a complicated dog. Not at all. It's just that the magnitude of the consequences at certain moments during those intensity peaks can be significant if it's not managed properly. And the job of his handlers now is to help him solidify his character and his composure. In these 2 years and 2 months he has, we just want to make sure those peaks we've observed don't happen. Or for him to have the ability to stay calm around any dog